Hello and good evening. Well, the hangman's noose is getting closer for the death row convicts in the 2012 Delhi gang rape and murder case. The Supreme Court rejected the curative petitions of 2 of the 4 convicts today. But they're trying every trick in the book to delay the inevitable. We'll tell you all about it on Newsnight tonight. I'm Gautam Roy. We'll also be talking about protests in favor and against the new citizenship law, where the Shaheen Bagh protest against the changed law came in the Delhi High Court's intention on the day it has completed 1 month. It's been causing a lot of inconvenience to lakhs of people every day, and the court wants it amicably resolved in public interest. But first, our headlines. 5th Raisina Dialogue begins in the national capital. Prime Minister Narendra Modi pays keen attention to the views of 7 former heads of state and government. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar says exchange of views on contemporary issues between different nations takes place through the Raisina Dialogue. BJP takes forward its awareness campaign nationwide in favor of the Citizenship Amendment Act. Yogi Adityanath says efforts to mislead the nation over CAA condemnable in Gaya. Delhi High Court directs the police to look into the traffic restrictions due to the month-long anti-CAA protest in Shaheen Bagh. Delhi police initiates efforts to resolve the sit-in. News tightens around death row convicts in the 2012 Delhi gang rape and murder case. The Supreme Court rejects the curative pleas of 2 of the 4 convicts. Convict Mukesh files mercy plea with President and plea against death warrant in Delhi High Court in a bid to delay the inevitable. BJP attacks the Congress's remarks over the arrest of J&K DSP nabbed on charges of aiding terrorists. Says Congress adept at attacking the nation and speaking Pakistan's language. Challenges Sonia and Rahul Gandhi. Questions whether they have any doubts over those responsible for the Pulwama terror attack. Notification issue for the Delhi Assembly elections. Nomination process began today. Aam Aadmi Party issues its list of candidates. Several MLAs lose tickets. BJP charges the Kejriwal government of simply doing drama for the last 5 years. Three Army and lone BSF Jawan lose their lives in the 2 separate avalanches in Jammu and Kashmir. 5 civilians also killed. Heavy snow is still blanketing up the hills, and the chill factor goes up after rains in different parts of the plains in North India. Reality check for Team India at home. Australia cruised to a 10-wicket victory, the biggest on Indian soil at Wankhede Stadium, while chasing a 256-run target set by Virat Kohli's men in the 50-over format. And on day 5 of the Khelo India Youth Games in Guwahati, Maharashtra is firmly back in the saddle at the numero 1 spot in the medals tally. Haryana is at number 2 and Delhi takes a 3rd place. Well, the changed citizenship law is garnering a lot of support across the country as part of the BJP's awareness campaign. But some protests against the CAA are also leading to a lot of public inconvenience. The Shaheen Bagh protest completed a month today, which also saw the Delhi High Court stepping into the matter. It directed the police to look into the traffic restrictions while keeping maintenance of law and order as well as larger public interests in mind. Efforts have now been initiated to resolve the Shaheen Bagh protest, which has invoked more and more questions each passing day after repeated clarifications from the PM and Home Minister about the CAA.
Support keeps mounting for the amended citizenship law across the country. BJP's leaders and activists are fanning out all across the country as part of its awareness campaign to tell everyone that the new law doesn't harm anyone. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath held a rally in Bihar's Gaya on Tuesday in favor of CAA and attacked the opposition. He said that the CAA has nothing to do with the NRC, but attempts are being made to mislead the nation.
नागरिकता कानून का एनआरसी से कोई संबंध नहीं है। एनआरसी असम के अंदर लागू हो रही है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आदेश से लागू हो रही है। प्रत्येक नागरिक को इसके बारे में अवगत कराएं।
The UPCM said it's India's tradition to give shelter to those seeking protection while chasing away infiltrators. The Modi government is living up to that tradition. He said that the Congress is opposing the CAA in the name of the Constitution, but it was the Congress who strangled the Constitution by imposing emergency.
कांग्रेस और आरजेडी के कुछ पोस्टर लगे हुए थे, उसमें लिखा था कि संविधान के खिलाफ नागरिकता का कानून, जिसने देश के अंदर संविधान का गला घोंटने का कार्य किया था, वह कांग्रेस आज संविधान की दुहाई दे करके देश के अंदर बने एक अच्छे माहौल को, देश के अंदर बने हुए एक अच्छे कानून को किस तरीके से नकारने का कार्य कर रही है।
The BJP's campaign in support of the new citizenship law saw Union Minister Babul Supriyo reaching Chhattisgarh's Bhilai on Tuesday, where Muslim youth gave him a grand welcome. The minister told the gathering that the CAA is a law for granting citizenship and not the other way around.
सीए जो है वो नागरिकता देने की, शरणार्थियों को एक देश देने की, उनके ऊपर प्यार जताने की एक मौका है जो भारत गंवाना नहीं चाहता है। सीए ना किसी भारतीय की नागरिकता छीनती है, ना किसी भारतीय को नागरिकता देती है।
Meanwhile, BJP's Rajkot unit has written 51,000 postcards in favor of the CAA to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Member of the Parliament Mohan Bhai Kandaria and local BJP workers reached the local post office to mail the postcards. But the protest against the law remains ongoing in the national capital Shaheen Bagh. The key Kalandikunj Shaheen Bagh route, which connects Delhi with Noida and Faridabad, has been shut for the last 1 month due to this protest. The Delhi High Court on Tuesday directed the Delhi police to look into the traffic restrictions along the route while hearing the PIL on the matter. The police was directed to keep in mind both maintenance of law and order and larger public interest while looking into the issue.
माननीय न्यायालय ने लार्जर पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट को देखते हुए पूरे सारी चीजों को देख करके और एक कोई भी रोड क्लोजर जो है वो इंडेफिनिट पीरियड के लिए नहीं हो सकता, उसको देखते हुए आपको इस पे तुरंत कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए और दिल्ली पुलिस को और भारत सरकार को निर्देश जारी दिए।
The Delhi police has now begun efforts to wind up the Shaheen Bagh protest. Officials said steps are being taken after the High Court's directions. Dialogue is being conducted to resolve the protest. Locals and the area's business community has been roped in. Both Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah have made it amply clear that CAA will not take away anyone's citizenship and government is not considering implementing NRC at all. In such a situation, protesting against CAA is becoming a questionable exercise and people being inconvenienced by it are running out of patience. Newsnight Desk, DD News.
Now, perception about the Citizenship Amendment Act seems to have been changing throughout the country due to the BJP's efforts, due to the government's efforts, the awareness campaign doing its intended work. Also, which is why we're now seeing efforts being made to resolve this Shaheen Bagh protest, which has gone on for 1 month. Let's just try and see what happened in the Delhi High Court today. Well, the Delhi High Court, directed the Delhi police to look into the traffic restrictions. It didn't say that you have to get the people out of there at any cost. It said, keep in mind law and order is maintained. So that is one proviso. The other one for the police is that they need to keep in mind larger public interest as well. So it's a bit of a balancing act that the court wants the police to do. The court refused to tell authorities to look into the matter in a time-bound manner. That was something that the court was very clear about. The PI was filed seeking direction to Delhi Police Commissioner to dispose, or it has been disposed of as well. The court will not have anything further to do with the entire issue. It was filed by an activist and lawyer, Amit Sani. You saw him speaking as well as part of our story. It sought lifting of restrictions on Kalindi-Kuj Shaheen Bagh stretch. The restriction has been imposed by the authorities because it's not possible to use that route right now. Okhla underpass is also shut since the 15th of December, so it's been a whole month. That is a vital route that connects Delhi, Noida and Faridabad through Kalindi-Kunj, and Shaheen Bagh has been shut. Now further on, the kind of pain that is being endured by the entire National Capital Region because of that. Kalindi-Kunj Shaheen Bagh Road has been shut, like I said, since the 15th of December. Now because of that, what has been happening is that the protest has become a source of problems for local residents and businessmen as well. People have been forced to use alternative routes, and that's not been easy. The alternative routes such as DND are now witnessing and have been witnessing long, like several hours, jams. Crossing one traffic signal at Ashram alone takes 15 to 20 minutes. Just imagine, distance of 10 minutes is taking 1.5 hours to cover each day. Jams are leading to waste of time as well as fuel and of course money. Fuel worth lakhs of rupees is going up simply in smoke due to this jam every day. Lakhs of commuters have been left with no alternative. 4 lakh people use this route every day, the one that has been shut, and now all these diversions are taking place. School kids have been using different routes. They've been wasting 2 hours. They have to start very early in the morning in this bitter cold. Over 200 retail stores and showrooms along this shut route are also facing huge losses. Pedestrians, even pedestrians are also not being allowed to pass through this entire area. People in emergency have just no way out. Residents of nearly 12 villages have held a protest over the blocked route as well. People are so tired now that they tried to also take out Padyatra, in terms of a protest against the protest itself. That's what happened on Mathura Road. And this has all been happening despite the fact that apart from the BJP itself talking about it, PM and Home Minister have been assuring the country about CAA. They've said that it's a law for granting citizenship and not taking it away. They've also said that no Indian citizen will lose citizenship because of the Citizenship Amendment Act. It's also been made amply clear that Citizenship Amendment Act gives citizenship to religiously persecuted minorities from 3 neighboring countries, I beg your pardon. And there's been no discussion within the government on NRC. That's something that the PM has been very clear about. So that's completely baseless, any sort of misgiving on that front. Information shared during NPR is not to harm any citizen either. That's the National Population Register, because the data collected via NPR will help the government simply frame its policies and programs. It will improve governance. So these are the basic concerns related to this matter, and we'll be talking about this as well because the protest seems to be now almost without any resolution, except for the fact that the court is now saying that to resolve it, and the Delhi police is making those efforts now. Stay tuned to Newsnight.
कला जगत की हर हलचल,
हुनर, कला और साहित्य की दुनिया के अनमोल मोती लेकर हाजिर है
भारतीय साहित्य की झलक।
इठलाती बलखाती चमकत है दामिनिया।
जो कुछ भी हो रहा है वो 12 सुर के अंदर हो रहा है।
बिना प्रेम के रिझे नहीं तुलसी नंद किशोर।
संस्कृति और सभ्यता से रूबरू कराता हमारा खास कार्यक्रम
रंग तरंग प्रोग्राम की वजह से आप कला को जिंदा रख रहे हैं।
हर हफ्ते हम लेकर आते हैं हमारे देश की कला संस्कृति के सतरंगी रंगों को आपके सामने।
रंग तरंग, शनिवार दोपहर 2:30 बजे।
Welcome back here with Newsnight. We're talking about the CAA because an anti-CAA protest in Delhi Shaheen Bagh has come into the notice of the Delhi High Court. There was a petition there to get this matter resolved, and now the court has directed the same, which is why anti-CAA protest is our in focus tonight, and it's taking a toll on the National Capital Region. And to talk about it, we have Praful Ketkar with us, editor organizer, also Sanjay Singh joining us in our studio, political editor, firstpost.com. Welcome to you both. First to you, Praful. In terms of what the court has ordered, it's a very balanced order, and it just tells us that there is an urgency now, a sense of urgency now to resolve matters not just related to this one protest, but perhaps the perspective of the nation on the CAA as well.
Yes. See, as far as perspective is concerned, I think there is no confusion the way rallies are being carried out in support of CAA. That clearly shows. In fact, the anti-CAA protests are very limited in pockets, but this particular protest and the way the goalpost is changing from anti-student, then campus-related violence, then so it is a very calculated, where the news matter, where the coverage matters. This particular protest now has become a bone of contention simply because now the people around that area who are facing day-to-day problem, and the commuters, lakhs of commuters who actually pass through that area are also started complaining. And there are two critical issues, because in any democracy you have rights, and you have rights until you respect the rights of others. Here the rights related to livelihood, rights related to movement, everything are getting affected due to a protest which is not rationalized on any ground. In fact, after every day there is a clarification, there is a clearance, there are people who are coming out in support, but this is one place where there is a consistent protest going on with children, women around. So who is sustaining this and why? That is the critical question. In and out, some political leaders are coming and going, but there is some mechanism that is working behind this entire protest. Otherwise, this is not an area where 26 days entire family can live their daily wages and sit there. So that's why it becomes very dangerous. One, it is creating problems for people around. Second, there seems to be some, because people sitting there may are carrying actual misperceptions, and but who is carrying that sustaining that entire effort from behind? That is a critical question.
Right, Sanjay, what is your take on this? Because we need to bear in mind that there is in this democracy the right to protest. Whether people are protesting about something that is rational or irrational is another matter. But the other question to consider is that you can always protest. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. But why cause such inconvenience, and that too for such an extended period of time at such a level of hardship in a cold, bitter winter, even to yourselves?
Gautam, as you said, anybody has a right to protest in democracy, and they have right or wrong perception about CAA, and also some hypothetical perception about NRC, and therefore they came out in protest after that Jamia Millia Islamia incident took place. And my problem is, you have a right to protest, but you don't have right to disrupt lives of lakhs of people. Personally, I am also a victim of the traffic regulations that have or traffic divergence that have come into effect for past 1 month, because massive jam on D&D, because thereby the spiral effect is also on D&D and several other areas, and every day I face that problem. Who gives right, and what right people actually have, those who are protesting out there, to acquire whole stretch of street which is very busy, connects Noida to parts of Delhi, then in Delhi that southern part that connects that to Faridabad and whole lot of other areas, and that basically is an arterial link. So therefore, if you disrupt arterial link
that connection to Gurgaon as well,
an extended period of 1 month, and think of people who are living on other side of the jam, the area that they have encroached. I would say encroachment, not just squatting. And on other side, if they have to go, children have to go to school, somebody has to go to office, somebody has to go for something else.
And that's a very busy commercial stretch as well. A lot of factory outlets are over there.
Precisely. On day one, they are saying that this is a peaceful protest, And considering the kind of unrealistic demands they have and very flimsical perception about CAG, I said fear psychosis situation, CAA, and also about NPR and NRC, and therefore those demands can never be met. My question is, are they going to sit there forever and make that kind of unauthorized encroachment on the street, and or some would say squat there forever, because nobody is going with a glass of juice from union government, or in next parliamentary session we are not going to see a rollback government nullifying CAA Act and not pursuing with NPR. So in that situation, yes, there is a motive. On one hand, you show that NPR on protest in Shaheen Bagh is peaceful. Shaheen Bagh is in New Delhi, is in Delhi, and therefore the media coverage has to be there. All city newspapers, on some reporter or the other has been deployed there, and in their own romanticism, the reporter or the editor or those who are there, they may be writing something and publishing something and commenting something. And but actual situation is this: somebody should actually go and tell them that you are sitting there with you are victim of some misplaced disinformation campaign. Today I saw, I was watching on television Manish Shankar Gaiyar going there and saying same thing, Musalman ko bhaga denge is this, and so on and so forth. The other day we saw Sasi Tharoor going there, and actually in a very romanticized manner he was saying things, and thereafter he is also asking others to make their position clear on CA. I think that misguided attempt on day one, they should not have been allowed to sit there. My question is with the government as to why so long that has been allowed. Even today Delhi Police, some senior officer from Delhi Police went there and very humbly requested them to vacate at least one side of the road, not both sides of road, one side of road, allow one.
And that is perhaps the way to do it as well, because you cannot have a situation where because this protest to a large extent, Praful, is also being it involves a lot of women and children, and then of course the perception will become completely adverse if something forceful was done to remove these protesters, and that will not be also appreciated by people as well. So the Delhi police has a tough job at its hand. Do you feel that the Delhi police needs some assistance here, not just from the people on the other side, but the people who are also taking the pro CAA message forward? Maybe some dialogue there needs to be established as well.
No, there may be some efforts, because people around that area are facing bigger problems than anybody else. But as you said, you are absolutely right. Delhi police is facing a tough time, and that's why even the High Court was very you can say tried to take a very balanced position, because they know very well the sensitive situation involved. And the problem here is because the kind of sloganeering that is taking place, the kind of position that they are taking is very supremacist and extremist. It simply means, again I am highlighting the point that it is misguided, but still very tactfully, or you can call it a very systematically manufactured kind of protest, and which is changing the goalpost conveniently. Sometimes you can stand with Jamia, sometimes you can stand with JNU, sometimes you can stand against CA, sometimes you can certainly start talking about some particular religion or AMU. So if you see the things happening there, it's very dramatic and engaging for the common people. So it is not just a spontaneous movement by people. It's a deliberate attempt of creating this manufactured dissent. So it becomes very problematic to negotiate. Negotiate with whom? Because this is not a call given by uniformly, onus is not taken by. And yesterday somebody was telling one of the reporters that whatever you do, it will go on at least till 6th of February.
That's the whole problem. There's a chronic distrust. There's this unwillingness to listen.
No. That yesterday's one of the responses of the record was, it will go on till 6th of February at least, because 8th of February there is Delhi election. So, if there is a political motive behind this particular protest, and indirectly supporting this kind of agitation, then it's really difficult. The way opposition space has been shrinking, they are looking at this as the last opportunity to somehow garner some kind of relevance.
But it's interesting that you mentioned the Delhi elections. It's not the Aam Aadmi Party which is leading this anti-CAA banner. We just
not
saw
officially, not officially,
yes.
But the local MLA is a very important person of that area, and it's very subtle. He's against CA, but still not open out against CA. So many people in that area believe that till Delhi elections, this will be, somehow will be kept alive.
In fact, Sanjay, yesterday the opposition showed how they're themselves divided because of their own reasons, but they appeared then divided even on the CAA. The Aam Aadmi Party said that we weren't even invited by the Congress for that opposition party meeting about CAA.
That's the irony of Congress party. In fact, Congress leaders are going there. Tallest of their leaders, Manishankar Iyer and Shashi Tharoor and several others, they are going there. Salman Khurshid is out there in nearby area. And but when it comes to vote, I don't think the votes are going to go to Congress. The Aam Aadmi Party, of course, would be gainer. And yesterday's Congress's thing under chairmanship of Sonia Gandhi, that I would say that was a flop show, because none other than only two leaders were in prominent positions were there, Sharad Pawar and Hemant Soren. And if you look at the strength of all the 19 parties, they say present there, only 22 Lok Sabha seats. So that was more about headline management, say 20 parties, not really of anything of substance, and also Rahul Gandhi briefing. So thereby convey a message that Rahul Gandhi is back and reinvent him in whatever manner and fashion. Coming back to Shaheen Bagh, actually the question that the fact that you said women and children are there, and therefore this task is going to be very difficult for Delhi police, and Praful also elaborated on that count. I think there is a strategy behind that, obviously.
Yes.
Because this is NPR and CA is not an issue which affects the women out there, children. In any case, they don't understand anything about CA and NPR till such time their parents or some other relatives have actually brought them to the dharna site. This issue does not really affect them. So what drives them to be there out there? I would assume that they come in shifts. Some would come, some would go, then again do their household things and come back at dharna site. What actually drives them? The question he was putting out there is that issue actually impacts them. What is the driving force that you go to Shaheen Bagh, acquire stretch of land, acquire stretch of a very busy road, squat there, and have all kinds of things.
Yeah, let's go back to Praful on that. Praful, partly one could say that the reason is electoral because Delhi elections are there, but it goes beyond that as well, doesn't it?
Absolutely. See, it was a systematic build-up, and it was a systematic build-up even, I believe, considering the narrative that you get on the ground, some kind of either creating insecurity or encashing on already existing insecurity in the community. So, see, we know very well that even pre-2019 election or pre-2014 election, this fear mongering has been there for the minority community, that if somebody comes, you are under threat. That narrative was always there. But after that, there were many such political strategies were adopted in the name of intolerance, in the name of award of CEO, whatever. But they failed miserably. In 2019 was a last kind of blow to all those efforts, even in the name of opposition unity. What has happened after that, whether Article 370 or verdict by the Supreme Court on Ram Janmabhoomi, and now Citizenship Amendment Act, all these things were used by certain political forces, not just political parties. I am deliberately using the word political forces to create that sense of insecurity within the Muslim community, because even for that matter, the triple talaq issue, the Supreme Court verdict and the action by the union government. So all these were tactically used. Many of them, in fact, if you talk to them, many of them will actually speak about these issues rather than about CAA.
So, and Sanjay, this sort of a confluence of issues is not really helping matters, is it?
Yeah, precisely. You pick up one issue, then you shift to other issue. Initially this was issue, then you had issue of police atrocity, so-called police atrocity in Jamia Millia. Then again the issue went back to CAA, NRC still is resonating. Then when NPR came, now the Congress is saying that NRC, some of them are arguing even more dangerous than NPR is more dangerous than NRC. NPR is just the precursor of NRC, and several other things. And then if your main opposition party is saying things like that, which they started 10 years ago and they held it successfully, and again a demand about CAA was made by none other than Manmohan Singh as leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha, and so was the left parties. And now saying that everything is bad because this Modi government has brought it in, and therefore you even stop a kind of enumeration under NPR. Tomorrow somebody would say, and we hear that agar aayega to naam bata denge, whatever, main Muslim naam lunga to main koi ranga billa lunga to ye karunga. What is this? I'm sure people who actually, if at all they do it, then they should realize as to the repercussions that will have on their coming generations in their own family. And then you have kind of CWC saying that state should take one action, Congress party, all Congress ruled state, which essentially means that they will not apply this particular thing. This is a union law. And mind it,
and at the end of the day, Praful Ketkar, the PM has said it, the Home Minister said it, and people need to trust their rulers. If they can't trust the people who lead them, who are in responsible positions, who will they trust?
Yes, Gautam, this is a matter of trust, but I think we need a communication at different level. See, there is one group which is a large chunk who is coming in support of CAA after understanding it, or maybe support to political party and Prime Minister Modi. There is other group politically aligned who may be knowing the issues but deliberately playing it for some political game. I don't think there is a point or there is a need to talk to any of these two groups. The real group is in between, who are victims of some kind of misinformation or fear-mongering or miscommunication, bad politics you can call, and there is a need to talk to them about CAA, about NPR, about NRC in Assam, how it was different and why it is not there right now. All these things should be communicated. To some extent, what government and even the ruling party is trying to do is through the house-to-house campaign is perhaps a useful strategy.
And we've seen so many examples, Praful. People have gone and had sane conversations. People have gone and sung the national anthem at a protest place, or Sare Jahan Se Acha Hindustan Hamara, and protesters have understood what is being conveyed and just gone home. Perhaps something of this sort could also be tried at Shaheen Bagh. It may just work, you never know. And then we can all be happy at resolving a situation which has been a bit of a pain for lakhs of people in the National Capital Region. The National Capital Region is huge. It's a growing area. It's a commercial hub, and so many lives really depend on just people making it from one end of the city to the other. Let's hope that happens soon. Thanks a lot for joining us this evening. Now, the 2012 Delhi gang rape and murder case death row convicts are running out of legal options. The Supreme Court rejected the curative petition of 2 of the 4 convicts today, finding no merit in their pleas. But one of them has now approached the Delhi High Court against the death warrant issued by the trial court on the 7th of January, which fixed their date of execution as the 22nd of this month. The same convict has also filed his mercy plea before the president. Clearly, the effort is to delay the inevitable, but that day is no longer far when Nirbhaya will finally get justice.
Nirbhaya will soon get justice. The legal doors for these convicts have almost been closed for them. The Supreme Court on Tuesday dismissed curative petitions filed by 2 of the 4 death row convicts in 2012 Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case. The 5 judges were unanimous that there was no merit in the curative petitions. The applications for stay of execution of death sentence was also rejected.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो उनका डिले टैक्टिक जो यूज कर रहे थे वो डिले टैक्टिक पर बैन लगा एक तरीके से फेल होते जा रहे हैं वन बाय वन। ये बहुत जरूरी था और हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि 22 को ही इनको हैंग किया जाएगा, फांसी होगी और हमारी बहन को न्याय मिलेगा।
फांसी की सजा हाई कोर्ट ने की थी, उनको सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने लाइफ इम्प्रिजनमेंट में कमिट किया है। हमारे वो पास भी हवाले हैं और हमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट पर पूरा भरोसा है, जो भी वो फैसला करेंगे हमें स्वीकार है।
Nirbhaya's family has welcomed the apex court's verdict.
मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ा दिन है, लेकिन सबसे बड़ा दिन 22 तारीख को होगा जब वो चारों फांसी पे लटकेंगे और उम्मीद करते हैं कि जो भी आगे उनकी रेमडी है ऐसे ही खारिज होगी और उनको 22 तारीख को फांसी होगा।
इनके पास जो भी है जल्दी से जल्दी खत्म हो जाए, 22 को लटक जाए। हम तो यही चाहते हैं, अब पूरा देश भी यही चाह रहा है। हम तो चाहते हैं कि जहाँ इनकी फांसी हो हम वहाँ खड़े रहें, इसलिए कि हमने अपनी बेटी को एक एक सांस को टूटते हुए देखा है, तो इन दरिंदों के सांसों को भी टूटते हुए अपने आंखों से देखूं, ये हमारी ख्वाहिश है।
A Delhi court had on January 7th issued death warrants against the 4 convicts and said they would be hanged on January 22nd at 7 a.m. in Tihar jail. The Supreme Court had in 2017 upheld the capital punishment awarded to them by Delhi High Court and Trial Court. A 23-year-old paramedic student was gang raped and brutally assaulted on December 16, 2012 in a moving bus in South Delhi by 6 people before being thrown out on the road. She died on December 29th at Mount Elizabeth Hospital in Singapore. One of the 6 accused in the case, Ram Singh, allegedly committed suicide in Tihar jail. A juvenile who was among the accused was convicted by Juvenile Justice Board and was released from the reformation home after serving a 3-year term. With inputs from Vikas Sarthi, Newsnight Desk, DD India.
The Congress's remarks related to the arrest of a Jammu and Kashmir police DSP in connection with the giving support to Hizbul terrorists has made the issue politically radioactive. The BJP has accused the Congress of speaking the language of Pakistan, while security agencies are probing the arrested DSP, that's Devinder Singh's terror links, by putting him through some intense questioning.
A day after Jammu and Kashmir DSP Devinder Singh was arrested, Congress's remarks has led to a rise in political temperature. The BJP also hit back at the Congress. While hitting out at Congress, the BJP said the Congress is able in hitting out at India and protecting Pakistan. BJP spokesperson said the opposition party has a history of being protective of the neighbouring nation.
The Bharatiya Janata Party condemns the statement of Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, the LOP of the Congress Party, and Mr. Randeep Singh Surjewala, the media head of the Congress Party. हम सब जानते हैं कि जम्मू कश्मीर के एक DYSP देविंदर सिंह गिरफ्तार हुआ है। वो गिरफ्तार हुआ है कुछ आतंकी गतिविधि में सम्मिलित होने के कारण। कानून अपना काम कर रही है। इसी देश के पुलिस ने उसे गिरफ्तार किया है और कानून अपना काम जरूर करेगी। मगर कांग्रेस हैज डन व्हाट इट इज बेस्ट एट, अटैक इंडिया एंड ट्राई टू प्रोटेक्ट पाकिस्तान।
The BJP asked the Congress to explain if it had any doubt about who were behind the Pulwama terror attack in which the CRPF personnel were killed last year, and said the opposition party is best at attacking India and protecting Pakistan.
आतंकवाद और उसमें धर्म ढूंढना और इन सब विषयों को राजनीतिक चक्की में डालकर कहीं न कहीं एक राजनीतिक रस निकालने का प्रयास कांग्रेस पार्टी आरंभ से ही करते रही है।
Police had arrested Singh, a deputy superintendent of police at Mir Bazar in Jammu and Kashmir's Kulgam district, along with a Hizbul Mujahideen terrorist. 2 AK-47 rifles were also recovered in a subsequent raid at Singh's house. The Jammu and Kashmir police has denied the media's claim about Devinder Singh is not awarded any gallantry or meritorious medal by the Ministry of Home Affairs. With inputs from Shailendra Mishra, News Night Desk, DD India.
The 5th edition of the prestigious Raisina Dialogue got underway in the national capital today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended the inaugural session where External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said Indian foreign policy seeks to essentially achieve focus on key challenges, broad engagement with many parties and managing, if not leveraging, various conflicts in global context.
The 5th edition of the prestigious Raisina Dialogue, jointly organized by the Ministry of External Affairs and the Observer Research Foundation, started in the capital New Delhi on Tuesday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also attended the event and listened carefully to the views of the former heads of 7 countries. It is one of the largest conferences of its kind. Former ministers of 12 countries and representatives of the European Union are attending this 3-day conference. Addressing the program, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said that the Raisina Dialogue mainly has 3 characteristics that bring together all stakeholders along with the exchange of ideas.
Raisina Dialogue has 3 characteristics. 1, while focused on change, disruptions and rebalancing underway in the world, it covers a very broad spectrum of subjects and debates. Most important, it is truly contemporary. 2, its participants are equally diverse. They range from policymakers and executors to thinkers and activists. The diversity addresses all yardsticks, whether of geography, demography, ideology, gender or interest. 3, this platform brings together representatives and individuals who you may not commonly find at the same location at the same time. The exchange of perspectives that this allows could possibly grow into something more with the passage of time.
On the first day, former Prime Minister of Canada Stephen Harper, former Prime Minister of Bhutan Shering Tobgay, former President of Afghanistan Hamid Karzai, former Prime Minister of Denmark and former President of South Korea addressed and spoke to the 7 heads of state.
That Afghanistan is perhaps closer to India in lots of ways, and it's the right place for me to thank Honorable Prime Minister of India for all the support given to the Afghan people and for continuing to hold us in very close, dear terms.
The developed world must step forward. We need champions. When you talk of climate change, it is this is a tragedy of commons in a truly global scale. And to solve such a problem, you need global champions. And champions must come from all countries, India included, but especially the developed world.
The 30 think tanks of the world will also present their views in different sessions of this 3-day conference. During the program, the world will present its views on the challenges related to globalization, the agenda of 2030, the role of technology in the modern world, climate change and counter-terrorism. With Abhishek Jha and Ramesh Ramachandran, News Night Desk, DD India.
India and Bangladesh have signed key agreements in the field of information broadcasting today, including one related to co-production of a film on Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. An airtime exchange program between Prasar Bharati and Bangladesh Radio Betar has also been launched. Here's more.
India and Bangladesh signed key agreements in the field of information and broadcasting at the Information and Broadcasting Ministers Meet 2020 in New Delhi on Tuesday. Deepening India's engagement with Bangladesh, an airtime exchange program between Prasar Bharati and Bangladesh Radio Betar was also launched. With the launch, content from Maitri service has started airing in Dhaka and reciprocally content from Bangladesh Radio Betar has started airing on All India Radio in Kolkata.
Bangla Betar India और आकाशवाणी इनके नए प्रोग्राम्स भी लॉन्च किए जो दोनों देशों में सुने जाएंगे और पिछले अनेक सालों से मैत्री के रूप में आकाशवाणी के कार्यक्रम 16 घंटे रोज बांग्लादेश में होते हैं और बांग्लादेश के भी कार्यक्रम जॉइंटली आते हैं। वैसे ही टीवी पर हमने डीडी बांग्ला और डीडी इंडिया ये दोनों के बीच में एक प्रोग्राम एक्सचेंज करके अच्छे जॉइंट प्रोग्राम्स तैयार करें, इसकी भी बात की है।
India and Bangladesh also signed a formal co-production agreement on the biopic of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman that will be released during the birth centenary year of Bangabandhu. It will be directed by eminent director, producer Sham Benikal. Bangladesh has decided to celebrate the Mujib year from 17th March this year to 17th March next year to mark the centenary year of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the first president of Bangladesh.
We have signed the working agreement for Bangabandhu movie. You know that India and Bangladesh jointly producing the movie to mark the 100 years anniversary of our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. So we have signed the working agreement. We have discussed about the development of our films, exchanging of our films. We are constructing a Bangabandhu film city, and I have sought assistance from the part of India because we have a lot of experience.
India has extended its support to establish a film city in Bangladesh and also have technical exchange between National Film Development Corporation and Bangladesh Film Development Corporation. The two ministers agreed to promote further bilateral relationships between the countries in information and broadcasting sector. With inputs from Shailendra Mishra, News Night Desk, DD India.
Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh Chief Mohan Bhagwat inaugurated the Mary Dialysis Centre operated by Dr. Hedgewar Memorial Trust and Bhagwan Mahavir Relief Foundation today. This centre will be a boon for the poor, where dialysis facility will be available for just 500 rupees. Apart from this, there will also be a meditation centre so that the health of patients can also be improved through meditation and yoga practice. The specialists will be helping the patients, and latest technology will be used so that patients are cured and do not need dialysis later.
ये जो नई चिकित्सा है, केवल बाहर की चिकित्सा करके मनुष्यों को ठीक करना, उसके साथ ये जो अंदर की चिकित्सा है पारंपरिक, उसको गलती से आजकल नॉन कन्वेंशनल कहा जाता है। वास्तव में वो कन्वेंशनल है और ये नया जो है वो नॉन कन्वेंशनल है। ये दोनों का एक संयुक्त चिकित्सालय यहां पर शुरू होता है। ये दोनों प्रयोग बढ़ने की और यशस्वी होने की नितांत आवश्यकता है।
The centre had been forced to import onions to check spike in its prices. But the union government now fears that the key kitchen staple may rot in godowns, as states have shown little interest in buying them despite its offer to bear transportation cost.
36,000 टन क्या कहते हैं कि प्याज क्या कहते हैं कि आया है, और केवल इतना प्रयास करने के बाद केवल 2,000 टन का कहते हैं कि राज्य सरकार ने मांग मानी है, और जबकि हमारा ऑर्डर जो है 42,000 टन का हो चुका है। जब दे रहे हैं राज्य को, तो राज्य खरीदते क्यों नहीं है? हमारे अभी कम एक GOM बना हुआ है जिसके चेयरमैन होम मिनिस्टर हैं। हमने होम मिनिस्टर से भी कहा कि कह के ये पोजीशन है, प्याज क्या कहते हैं खराब प्याज का ज्यादा लाइफ नहीं होता है। उन्होंने अपने से कहा कि हम बात करते हैं, बात भी उन्होंने किया होगा, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी कहीं से कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आ रहा है।
North India continues to reel under the cold wave conditions. After snowfall and rains, dense fog in Gulf Jammu region hitting flight operations and also to and fro from Jammu airport. Srinagar recorded the minimum temperature of -2.7 degrees Celsius. But tragedy has come in the shape of avalanches in Jammu and Kashmir, taking a toll on the lives of both soldiers and civilians. Let's now get you some more updates from around the country in our regional roundup.
Delhi elections 2020 will be held in a single phase on February 8th. The Delhi election result will be announced on February 11th when the counting of votes will take place. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari has sent out a warning to non-performing officers, saying that the government will not hesitate to remove those who delay processes because of their inactivity. NHRC team visited the Jamia Millia Islamia to record statements of the students who were injured during the police station on the campus last month. Around 35 to 40 students were present to record their statements with the team of National Human Rights Commission. The Delhi High Court dismissed the Enforcement Directorate's plea to set aside the bail granted to businessman Radul Puri, nephew of Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Kamal Nath, in a money laundering case connected with the Augusta Westland. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Girish Chandra Murmu expressed grief over the loss of lives due to avalanches at different parts of the Union Territory.
And let's now get you some updates from around the globe as well.
Expressing regret over shooting down Ukrainian plane, Iran's President Hassan Rouhani termed it as an unforgivable mistake. In a televised address, he said that the tragic incident would be investigated thoroughly. Meanwhile, Iran's judiciary has arrested some people for their involvement in the crash. At least 67 people lost their lives and several others were missing after avalanches hit in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Pakistani officials said many villagers were still stranded by the avalanches in the Neelam Valley area following heavy rain that also triggered landslides. Meanwhile, in western Pakistan, heavy snowfall in southwestern Balochistan destroyed several houses in the mountainous region, killing 17 people. The air quality in Melbourne deteriorated to the worst in the world as smoke from the massive bushfires engulfed the city. Authorities have issued health warnings advising people to stay indoors and take precautionary measures. The raging Australian bushfires has killed at least 26 people, burned over 10 million hectares of land, destroyed over 2,000 homes and pushed many species towards extinction. Meanwhile, the Bureau of Meteorology has forecast rains through the week, bringing some relief to the bushfire-affected communities and the firefighters. Queen Elizabeth II has given her blessings to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's decision to step back as senior members of the royal family. In a statement issued by Buckingham Palace, the 93-year-old monarch said that she and her family are entirely supportive of Harry and Meghan's desire to create a new life as a young family. There would be a transition period during which the couple would spend time in Britain and Canada. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he had no doubt that the royal family would sort out their problems. An enormous sinkhole swallowed a bus and pedestrians in northwest China, sparking an explosion, killing 6 people and leaving 4 more missing. A video footage showed people at a bus stop running from the collapsing road. Several people disappeared into the sinkhole as it spread. The incident also triggered an explosion inside the hole. Sinkholes are not unknown in China, where they are often blamed on construction works and the country's rapid pace of development.
Now, India-China bilateral trade has continued to make steady growth in 2019. According to Chinese official data released on media on Tuesday, China-India bilateral trade stood at 639.52 billion yuan in 2019, which is 1.6% increase year on year. However, in US dollar terms, it dipped by $3 billion as compared to 2018, as overall global trade was moderated in 2019. Bilateral trade is projected to be about $92.68 billion in 2019, while it was $95.7 billion in 2018, a record high till now. India's trade deficit with China also declined to about $56.77 billion in 2019 as compared to about $58 billion in 2018. Vice Minister Zhao Zhiyu of General Administration of Customs of China told Prasar Bharati special correspondent that China's exports to India were 515.63 billion yuan in 2019, an increase of 2.1%, and China's imports from India was at 123.89 billion yuan, a decrease of 0.2%. Responding to the question on large trade deficit of India, he said China welcomes more high-quality products from India to big Chinese market. And let's turn to sports now. And in chasing a below par 256 for victory, the Aussies rode on a record opening partnership between David Warner and Aaron Finch to cruise to victory in 37.4 overs and record their first 10-wicket win over India and 5th overall in ODIs. Warner scored his 18th century in the format, while Finch hit his 16th to draw level with Adam Gilchrist on the list of most centuries for Australia in the 50 overs of cricket. Their 258-run stand is the highest ever for any wicket against India in ODIs and only the second 250-run opening partnership for the Aussies in the format. The deadly duo also set the record for the highest opening partnership against India in an ODI run chase and the highest for any wicket at the Wankhede Stadium. India have only lost 4 matches by 10 wickets so far and just once at home against South Africa in Kolkata back in 2005. That's almost 15 years ago, I beg your pardon. Now, day 5 of the Khelo India Youth Games saw Maharashtra and Haryana at loggerheads for the top position in the points table. It also saw some of the talented youngsters showcasing their skills in front of the world. Let's take a look at the players who set the stage on fire with their skills.
Athletics action was in full swing on day 5 of the Khelo India Youth Games. In under-17 boys category, Uttam Yadav from Uttar Pradesh won the gold in the 1500-meter race. Uttam finished the race in 3 meters 56 seconds. Arjun from Madhya Pradesh finished with the silver. In under-21 category of 1500-meter race for girls, Uttarakhand's Ankita emerges victorious. She won the 1500-meter race in 4 minutes 22.19 seconds to claim the gold. Delhi's Chanda settled for silver, while the bronze went to Gauri from Uttarakhand. In the under-17 boys 200-meter race, the gold went to Vijay Kashyap from Uttar Pradesh. Vijay won the race in 22.26 seconds. Assam's Akshay Boro settled for silver, while Sadanand Kumar got the bronze. In the under-17 girls 200-meter race, the gold went to Tamil Nadu's Jeevanji Deepthi, who finished the race in 24.84 seconds. The silver in the category went to Payal Vora from Delhi, while Sudeshna Hanmant from Maharashtra got the bronze. In under-21 category for boys 200-meter race, Karnataka's Abhin Bhaskar clinched the gold with a timing of 21.33 seconds. Abhinav Panwar from Delhi and Prasad Kailash from Maharashtra won the silver and bronze respectively. The under-21 200-meter girls category saw Maharashtra's Kirti Vijay bag the top spot with a timing of 24.99 seconds. West Bengal's Rajeshri Prasad won the silver, while Tamil Nadu's Roshni won the bronze. In rhythmic gymnastics under-21 competition, Maharashtra's Aditi Thandekar stamped her authority and bagged the gold. With Mukesh Shukla, Narayan Singh's report, DD News, Guwahati.
Now, Khelo India Youth Games are a hunting ground not only for athletes but for talent scouts who are looking at these players for the future. Our correspondent Narayan Singh takes a close look at the talent scouts and what impact they have had in Kabaddi.
If you thought Khelo India Youth Games are a hunting ground only for the athletes, you haven't seen the talent scouts hovering around the various sporting venues in Guwahati. The event, which is hosting around 6,800 athletes from 20 disciplines in 2 age groups, is proving to be a hunting ground for scouts from private sports league like Pro Kabaddi.
It is very good platforms for the youth of the nations. They have government has done a very beautiful efforts to make the youth of the country for the coming Olympics, Asian Games, Commonwealth Games. They have got a very good platform to the voice of the country.
हमारा मेन काम है कि जो भी बच्चे यहाँ पर पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं उनमें जो टैलेंटेड बच्चे हैं उनका सिलेक्शन करना और उसके बाद में असेसमेंट कैंप में असेस करना और उसके बाद जो सिलेक्टेड बच्चे हैं उनको ट्रेनिंग देना ताकि वो नेशनल, इंटरनेशनल और ओलंपिक लेवल के ऊपर पहुंचे, जो कि हमारा एक खेलो इंडिया का एम है.
Maharashtra's under-21 Kabaddi coach Bajrang Pardesi says Khelo India is an excellent platform for young athletes to shine as they are getting excellent facilities.
एक ये ऐसा मंच है कि पूरे भारत में से जो अच्छे खिलाड़ी एक साथ में खेल रहे हैं, जैसा कि पहले नेशनल गेम होता था, ये तो हर साल होता है और खिलाड़ियों को जो फैसिलिटीज जो दिए जा रही है, 3 स्टार फैसिलिटीज या हवाई जहाज में उनको सफर किया जा रहा है, उनका वो अनुभव बहुत ही पहले बार है, क्योंकि ऐसे खिलाड़ी इनको जो लोग स्टेट के खिलाड़ी आते हैं उनको ट्रेन में भेजते ऐसे स्लीपर कोच में, लेकिन यहाँ फर्स्ट क्लास का फैसिलिटीज दिया जा रहा है.
Once Kabaddi was a rural game, the game was played in villages on mud grounds as no equipment was required for the sport. People of all ages used to play the sport during festival seasons. But now, Kabaddi is a glamour sport. The game has moved from mud to turf and from outdoors to indoors.
अच्छा टफ कॉम्पिटिशन है यहाँ पे, अच्छा नए यंग प्लेयर को लिए अच्छा मौका है ऊपर जाने के लिए भी. खेलो इंडिया अच्छी सुविधा कर रही है, सरकार भी पूरा साथ दे रही.
खेलो इंडिया टीम में से प्रो कबड्डी को जल्दी सिलेक्ट होता है, तो हमको अभी कुछ कर दिखाने का मौका दिया सरकार ने और प्रो कबड्डी के लिए हमको चांस मिल सकता है. बस शुक्रिया अदा, खेलो इंडिया स्टार्ट किया.
प्रो कबड्डी में अभी हम लोग मतलब नए टैलेंट को मतलब ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा चांस मिलता है, तो वो चांस मतलब यहाँ से ही मतलब नए यंग प्लेयर यहाँ से ही मिलते हैं उन्हें, तो यहाँ से लेके जाते हैं, फिर उनको थोड़ा प्रिपेयर करके फिर प्रो कबड्डी में चांस और फिर अच्छा खेले तो इंडिया की टीम में सिलेक्ट हो जाते हैं.
Khelo India is a professional step towards providing the opportunities to the young prodigies. This masterstroke from government is making India's sporting ecosystem strong.
The venues of the Khelo India Youth Games are happy hunting grounds for the talent scouts who came here for the talent so that they can make the bench strength of their team strong. And athletes are also happy as they are getting all sorts of opportunities here at the Khelo India Youth Games. With camera person Sandeep, this is Narayan Singh, DD News, Guwahati.
So that's how things really move on as far as Indian sporting talent is concerned, and that's all we have at the moment in this edition of Newsnight. For all the latest, stay tuned to DD India.